everyone. This is A Bit of Business. My name is John Fitzgerald, and on behalf of Lear Media TV and the British and Irish Trading Alliance, welcome to the show. Annika Storenstam, Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, Lewis Hamilton, all household names from the world of sport who have all risen to the very top of their respective professions. These are elite sports stars who have performed and won at the very top level throughout their careers. So what does it take to get to the level in sport like these brilliant athletes, and how does that journey relate to running a business? Our special guests today will help us answer this question. Michael Crease and Matt Ford, welcome to the show.
Hi, mate. You right?
Good. If you're a British touring car fan or a golf fan, you may well recognize these two sports stars on your screen. By way of introduction, Matt was born in Swindon and has lived in Bearsted, Kent, most of his life with his family. He started playing golf at the tender age of 10, got his handicap to +3, which is very, very good, ladies and gentlemen, and was selected for the England team. He turned professional at the end of 2003, won the PGA National Assistance Tournament in his first year, then played a mixture of PGA and European Challenge Tour events for 10 years, earning his professional card at qualifying school in 2014. He is now a regular feature on the DP World Tour. Michael's journey to fame and fortune in the racing world started only 5 years ago in the Ginetta Cup, which he won at his first attempt, and then won the Ginetta Super Cup, also at his first attempt, earning celebrity status and a host of adoring fans along the way. Michael brings plenty of life experience to the cockpit of any car he gets into, along with a well-established ability to win races. So guys, let's start with a big question, I suppose, for both of you. And when did you first know with absolute clarity that you wanted to be a professional golfer and a professional racing driver, and what helped you decide? So perhaps Michael first on this, then over to Matt.
Well, pretty much my setting where I'm at the moment made me decide that I need a career change because I'm fed up of plumbing and heating on a building site, which is where I am today, unfortunately. But no, I think, I never knew. I've always followed the sport. I've always been a massive motorsport fan my whole life, and played it on the computer games and watched it on the telly and stuff. And I decided to go go-karting 5-6 years ago with my mates and stuff. And I was lucky enough, I got spotted and by a Formula One world champion. And I started sort of thinking, well, hold on, I could have a go at this. And then it was only sort of 5 years ago where I thought, when I went testing in the Ginetta, and it turned out that, I had a natural talent for the sport, is when I started setting my goals that British touring car is where I wanted to be predominantly. And so for me, my story is a bit different to a lot of people's, and how, and how I got going and to where my career has gone in such a space of time is, it's on a crazy path.
The stuff of dreams. Matt, what about you?
Yeah, I guess mine would be slightly different to the normal trend, especially as from the tour pros that are coming through now. Coming through young from college, turning pro pretty young and straight on to tour almost. I was, kind of young lad in my teens playing football and golf. Probably football was my first love before golf at that point. Although I did love golf, I loved all sports, but kind of got fed up with football around that time. I was a left winger making runs, nobody would pass the ball, kind of getting fed up with other people, whereas golf, it was in your control. So I think that kind of pushed, that was something in my heart really that kind of grew. I always had doubts whether I could make a living from it, because it's obviously elite sport is very tough to get to the top, or just to make a living out of some of these sports, especially golf. So I went to college, got a degree in sports science, and then decided I want to really pursue the golf. And I think I won a tournament in my first year as a PGA pro, which got me into Wentworth PGA Champs, which obviously are one of the biggest events in the UK. And yeah, and just loved it and felt at home, and I thought, oh, this is where I want to be. So yeah, just been chasing that dream ever since, really. Obviously took me about 10 years to get a full status out there, and then I've been on and off there for the last 8 years or so. But yeah, that's the dream.
That's a long journey, and it takes perhaps a lot longer than you might assume, and no one sees all the hard work that goes into it, Matt, to get you to this point. So Michael, tell me, where do you get the buzz in your sport, and what keeps you going?
Well, every time you get in a race car, motorsport's very dangerous, obviously. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Am I back? Am I back, John?
You're almost back. Carry on, and it's trying to come back.
I don't know what's up with this video.
There we go. Back? We're back.
And basically, every time I get in the race car, the adrenaline kicks in. I was really unwell last week. I come back from Spain and I'd picked up a cold or something from there, and was quite unwell. And I had to come back and still deliver in the race car. And I was physically like drained, and as soon as I got in the car, the adrenaline kicks in, and it's a really weird feeling because automatically you feel like you're back in the room, everything's normal, you're so focused, and and then as soon as I got out of the race car, I was straight back in bed where I couldn't move my body. Do you know what I mean? So I think the buzz, now for me is having fans, and it's crazy for me, and I'm just a normal local lad, but I've got people asking for my autograph and pictures, and really willing me on to do well, and my social media following is growing every day, and it's just so nice that I go there and people are supporting me, and it drives me on to more success. I'm only getting better. I'm still learning every day, and I'm racing the pinnacle of British motorsport, and I feel like I'm only getting better. I feel like I'm driving the best I've ever driven at the moment, and I don't think a win or a podium's far off for me now.
And I want to come back to that in a second, Michael, around career aspirations and where you hope to be when you peak. But back to you on this one, Matt. Where do you get the buzz in your sport, and what keeps you going?
Well, just that competitive edge, I guess. I guess we've been doing it this long. There's a lot of things that that can seem as things that will drive you. Obviously, success and money is kind of one of those things, and it's essential in keeping me going. But yeah, I think in the heat of the battle, that's where you want to be. I unfortunately haven't had much of that this year so far, but I'm sure something will come along hopefully soon, hopefully this week. But that buzz when you're in contention, you can't buy that or beat that.
The sharp edge, the adrenaline kicks in, you're very focused, and you're doing your very best to win. So guys, what qualities do you think the very, very top performers in your sports demonstrate that essentially allow them to elevate their performance and separate themselves from the rest of the field on a particular day? And maybe let's use Lewis Hamilton and Tiger Woods as two examples. So first, what do you think separates Lewis from everybody else, Michael, and how does that manifest itself?
Well, I mean, I'm very lucky to work. I mean, obviously, I know Lewis's brother. I raced with him, and and I'm very lucky to see the top level athletes in my game. And last year I raced on the Formula One scene with Porsche against the best drivers, in the world, and it's just like Matt sort of saying, with the monetary side of things, once that's sorted, that will breed success, because you've got more time to focus on, data and analysis and applying yourself to what's coming, prep work, fitness, drinking, eating the right foods, and just the whole commitment to the sport, where unfortunately for someone like me at the moment, I mean, we've done really well with sponsorship and getting on the grid, but I still have to do a day-to-day job where people like I'm competing against, like Ash Suttons and Colin Turkingtons and Jason Platos of the world. They get paid for the sport, and they've got sponsorship that can. This is their professional job, and they you know, they live, sleep, and eat it. You know, they're in the teams now, probably looking at data for this weekend, and you know, trawling through everything over the past years, probably on simulators, all of this sort of stuff. Where I'm on a building site at the moment, and I only start getting my head into gear on Wednesday, when I start traveling up, because my race weekend starts on a Wednesday to the Monday, where they're full time at it, and that's how you have to be, and that's where I want to be next year. I want to make sure that we've got enough sponsorship, and we sign the right deal where I can fully 100% commit to my racing. And I think when I get to that level, that's when you'll start seeing me winning races at British Touring Car.
Very good. Matt, what are your thoughts on this? And if we were using Tiger Woods as an example, is it mindset? Is it discipline? Is it training? Is it the coaching? Is it sponsorship? Is it all of the above?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily use Tiger. I'd probably use Matt Fitzpatrick, obviously, with his current win for yesterday, US Open. So, and I think he's a perfect example for someone who just goes as the little 1% in every area. You wouldn't have thought, and I played with him a fair bit. He's not a long hitter. He wasn't a long hitter. He's pretty average, good short game, good putter, and good with irons. But he's increased his speed, not by bulking up like some people. He's kind of increased his speed, but kept the accuracy as well. So, you know, he's gone his 1% in a lot of areas, a little bit like Michael just said about the you know, the different areas, the percentages, the analysis. Obviously, from his point of view, yeah, the finances are he's not got to worry about anything like that. The top guys aren't worrying about money, apart from the guys that may be going over to the Saudi League. But everyone else, and the majority of people, are focused on that titles and winning tournaments. So yeah, that 1% in say 5 or 6 areas makes all the difference.
Incremental gains in a variety of different areas, making the difference and adding up to, well, the difference between success and failure in many instances. So,
have you had the call yet for the Saudi tour, Matt?
No, I've been waiting, but no, I did. Unfortunately, you give grief for the people that have money taking the money, but as someone who hasn't got the money, I would definitely take the money.
Yeah.
Well, it's market economics. Market economics, isn't it? And a little bit of competition is good in any sport, I think. Anyway, but you know, neither of you, based on my observation, have peaked yet in your careers. You're both on a track trying to get better every single day. So what are you working on now to make the difference and get those incremental gains? Michael, maybe you first on this one.
I'm quite lucky. One of my sponsors, Clever Baggers, you know, who are on a mission to try and get rid of all plastic bags and help the environment and stuff go forward, which I know is very close to the BITA as well. They've invested in a simulator for me for my home. You know, around about £20,000, a lot of money. So I've been doing a lot of sim work at home, you know, in the evenings and when I can get on it, and so that's helping me. Just a bit of muscle memory. The simulator's been set and built like my touring car, so it's left-hand drive and the gear stick and everything simulated to what it feels like the Vauxhall. So I turn up to races, you don't actually get the feel of you know, potentially hurting yourself or going off and crashing at 150 mile an hour, but you get a lot of muscle memory, and obviously Matt will you know, will understand muscle memory is key, and just going out there and getting on it straight away without wasting 5 or 6 laps for me to learn the track and where it goes and, you know, what gear to be in. It just helps me, that side of things. I've been working really close with my data engineer Ben and my actual race engineer Rob this year, pretty much more than what I have done in previous years. So I've been getting a lot of video footage sent over from last year's races for this weekend. I've had all the data sent over so I can do my own analysis in my own time. So when I turn up there, I've already done half of the work, so we can focus on other stuff when I get there. So there's little things that I'm improving all the time, and it's showing in my driving.
Very good. Matt, what about you? What are you focused on now, and what do you think will make the difference for you in the next few years?
Yeah, well, I guess how long have you got? There's quite a few things, but I think obviously the key areas. I think in golf it feels like you're spinning plates, and I've probably got about a dozen plates going around, and you're just continuously trying to keep spinning them. But overall, my game has kind of just lacked a little bit of consistency off the tee, and then the crucial bits of holding the putts. So they're the two areas. Obviously, I'm not. I would say I was more of a Matt Fitzpatrick, kind of one of the shorter medium hitters, and I've tried to go after length, but it hasn't necessarily helped me from the accuracy point of view. So, kind of trying to stabilize that to actually hitting more fairways. Iron plays my strength. So, yeah, hitting more fairways. And I've actually obviously there's so many technical things. Obviously, Michael said about a simulator for his driving. Obviously, we have very similar things for golf. And then lots of little things for putting, measuring the smallest amount of margins. And so, yeah, I've been working a lot on that, and actually more on rhythm and timing of the putting stroke, which, has been something that's still at my age. I'm still learning. So, yeah, it's that, but those are two areas. And I'm feeling pretty hopeful. I had 2 weeks off, not last week, the week before, and nicely saw all my coaches, had some nice time with the family and some good practice. So got a busy few weeks coming up, and hopefully see some of the fruits from that hard work.
And I mean, you're absolutely right. That consistency is so important in golf. And speaking of Matt Fitzpatrick, I think he hit 17 out of 18 greens in regulation yesterday, and he only won by one shot, Matt, the finest of margins, the slimmest victory, but still a victory. And being able to stay consistent over a 4-day period, it's the same with you, Michael. You know, you have to stay focused the entire race. There's no time off, because the smallest little lack of focus or lack of attention can make a huge difference in both of your sports. So, guys, I know you spend a lot of time, Matt, with at Pro-Ams, and you work with businesses, and I played with you recently, and you were very generous with your coaching tips and helping us work on a few things. So you meet lots of folks in business. Michael, you do the same. You're in business yourself anyway. So what lessons do you think that you can take from your elite level sport that translate into the world of business? And it could be anything in relation to discipline or focus or teamwork, etc. But interested in your thoughts. Michael, you first on this one.
It's a tough one for me, because I'm on a building site in the weekdays, and then people see me as a sort of celebrity on the weekends and on social media and stuff. And it has its pros, but it also has cons. And with my team that I have around me, I'm very positive. I sort of, I put a very positive spin on a lot of bad situations as well. And teamwork is a big thing for me. Essentially, like Matt, you're the one who's in control of your destiny in our sports. But I also feel like that with my company, the buck stops with me at the end of the day. And you need to generate the positivity, the approach. You have ups and downs and hard days and stuff at work. And we've just gone through a very difficult period at the moment. But, it's the way that we've adapted ourselves and the way that we've got through it, which is now, really, really taking us on to the next level of what in the industry. And, it's good. It's a good feeling. And when everything's clicking together, you end up performing and end up doing the best you have done. And you never really knew that you could get to that point. So it's just keeping the momentum going with my team at work as well as the team on the racetrack.
Matt, your thoughts on this? What lessons do you think you can take from elite sport that translate well into the world of business?
Well, I did a course the other day, actually, or during the winter. And and the old SWOT analysis, something that, I mean, any analysis, I'm a bit of, I love that type of stuff, from stats and all the information you can get from your game or your performance. So I'm always analysing, and I know obviously a lot of businesses probably do that. So that analysis, using your strengths and weaknesses, opportunities, threats, and then making a plan from there. Yeah, obviously that's an elite sport. Those, to get that 1% in those little areas, you need that. Otherwise, you don't know where you're going to get those 1%. So that analysis is key to allow you to plan. I mean, yeah, I think that can be used in everything we do, really, not in business and professional sport. There is a bit of luck involved as well, I do think, but I think if you've done the right analysis and prepared properly and done everything the best to your level, I think Gary Player always says, the harder I work, the luckier I got. So I do think that, especially with golf. I mean, you saw, I think it was Perez who won in Holland a few weeks ago. You know, he holed a putt. I think he held like 4 putts of around about 40, 50 feet in the last 6 holes. 2 of them were in the playoff holes. You know, and to hold a putt of that length, I think it's something silly, like, you know, 5 out of 100, or probably even less than that. You know, so it's 5% chance, and he's done it 4 times in the last 5 holes. You know, so there is that luck. There is that, but you've got to hit a good putt to start with. But you do see when people win tournaments, things have gone their way, but you've got to be in it to win it. So there's a bit of, you've got to do both. You've got to ride the luck when it's good and bad, but you've also got to be prepared. And that analysis, I think, is a good thing.
Luck is the residue of good preparation, somebody also once said, I think, and it's very, very true. But guys, I'm conscious of our time. Sorry, go ahead, Michael.
I need some luck at the minute. We've just been so unlucky this year. I mean, we got caught up in 2 accidents which haven't been my fault, and they've crashed in front, and we've been caught in them both. And I think if I didn't have them 3 DNFs that I've had, we would have had 100% point scoring record at the moment, which, you know, would have put me right up in the championship. So hopefully our luck will change this weekend. But yeah, you're right. You have to be there, put yourself in the shop window, but you do also need that bit of luck.
Well, speaking of next weekend, guys, and the last question, when can we expect to see you next on television out there performing at this very high level? Michael, where are you next weekend?
So I'm racing at Croft up in Darlington, just south of Newcastle, and we're on ITV4, ITV Hub on Saturday, watching qualifying if you want to catch that live, and then ITV4 all weekend this weekend. Last weekend we was on ITV1, but this we're back to ITV4. So yeah, we're on there for 6 hours or 7 hours, I think, on Sunday. Very good. Matt, what's your next tournament?
Yeah, I'm in Munich now for the BMW International. Yeah. Maybe you can see that.
Excellent. Very sweet.
So yeah, so I'll be here. That's obviously on Sky from Thursday, I imagine. Yeah, Thursday through the weekend. So hopefully I can get in the red and get some TV coverage.
Very good. Well, guys, look, that's all we have time for today. And I know I can wish you both the very best of luck next weekend and for the rest of the season. BITA is behind you both, and we wish you all the very, very best of good fortune, because we know that you can get there and achieve all of your goals. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a bit of business. My name is John Fitzgerald. Thank you so much for watching.